Hey there, how you doing? Yeah, welcome back to the channel. I'm Naiwal. Come on in, get comfy, settle down. We're in my dingy ass garage because this is the spookiest location I have available to me. Well, that's not true. I could go to this abandoned theater that I've done a couple skits at before. I'm pretty sure there's black mold in there. Like, I'm pretty confident. Anyway, Dark Lore is here to focus on some of the darkest subjects in video gaming. That could range anywhere from stories in the video games themselves or stories that happen outside of the video game. If you want me to cover something, leave it in the comments, because we're not just limiting ourselves to the Fallout universe. We're going Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Monster Hunter is on that list. There are so many games out there with some really dark lore, and I really want to get into that, pick it apart, Jesus Christ, pick it apart and see what it's all about. I am a huge fan of horror, which is surprising because my mom, anytime we would ever go to a movie, whether it be a horror movie or not, she would tell me all the time, "Little Ian, if you're not quiet and good during this movie, you see that exit sign over there?" "Yes, Mom. Yeah, I see it." "Tales from the Crypt guy. He's gonna get you.
He's gonna pull you through that exit sign and he's gonna chop you up into little pieces and feed you to the demons."
So the entire time we're watching the movie, I'm not really watching the movie, I'm watching the damn exit sign, trying to make sure Tales from the Crypt guy, the Crypt Keeper, isn't trying to pick my bones. Today we are talking about Vault 11. Vault 11 is a vault in the Fallout game, specifically Fallout New Vegas. Vault 11 is a story of human depravity, manipulation, and abuse of power. Now, let's get into the story. So, just so you know what I'm looking at here, I am going to be commentating over my already commentated gameplay. My own experience going through Vault 11, as well as referencing some of the notes here on the Nukipedia. There are some things in here that I feel like aren't exactly accurate. Like right here, south of the vault, on the edge of El Dorado Dry Lake, a worn billboard for the Lucky 38 can be found. On it is the number 11. Next to the torn section of the billboard, if positioned right, the tear will line up with the entrance to Vault 11 on the other side of the dry lake. I went to check that out. Guess what I found?
Dude, which one is it, dude? Helios 1. Dude, is this it? Nuh-uh. Oh, come the hell on, bro. Dude, that's not even Lucky 38. Where the hell is this 11 that they're talking about? 11 million? Is that what they're talking about? 11 million? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, that's not a Lucky 38 billboard. And I'm pretty sure it was a mod. Whoever added that note added a mod note. So, located west of Boulder City and southwest of the 188 Trading Post, the entire vault has been plastered with propaganda for an election for a new overseer. With each candidate expressing outrage expressing outrage at having been nominated and why the other candidates deserve to be overseer instead. Shit. This is juxtaposed to commonly understood elections where the opposite goals are seen and instills a sense of perplexity to the uninitiated. Throughout the vault, sandbag barricades, multiple traps, and several skeletons serve as evidence of violent conflict. The vault's entryway contains 4 skeletons and an audio log.
Gotcha.
Got what? What the hell are you talking about? 4 corpses at the front entrance of Vault 11 and a strange recording point to the sinister events determine what happened to the citizens of Vault 11.
Are we really gonna do this? It's open. We could just leave.
I couldn't. Not after that.
We don't deserve to leave. A shining example. That's what it called us. But we did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot. Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem. Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first. Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out. Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, no, no! Wait!
So someone can commit to the suicide pact a little bit.
The next room has hallways to the vault, clinic, classroom, and cigar lounge. I want to make a note that we'll come back to later on as we are exploring the vault about the clinic and the classrooms. We get our first log, which is, it talks about here are the nominees for Overseer this year.
Election guide. Dear fellow Vault Dweller, congratulations. Your dedication to the democratic process is the bedrock upon which the continued stability of Vault 11 is based. Now, to help you make your decision for this year's election, the coalition of Vault 11 voting blocks has put together this handy Dweller's official guide to obtaining overseers democratically, or do good. That contains a summary of the leading candidates for overseer, as well as their statements, key positions, and most importantly, endorsements. Sincerely, Roy Gottlieb, Chairman, Coalition of Vault 11 Voting Blocks, President, Justice Block. Candidate, Henry Glover, endorsements, Utilitarian Block, Divine Will Block, Allied Service Workers Block. I'm a devoted husband and father of 6 beautiful children. My oldest, Sam, was on the honor roll this quarter, and I couldn't be prouder of him. My youngest, Henry Jr., just had his first word, and it was Dada. We've got this bond already, and he's still just a baby. Friends, when you go to the polls this election, I want you to think of your own children. Then, I want you to think of Sam and Henry Jr. Picture their faces. Nate Stone should be overseer, not me. Candidate, Donna Haley. Endorsements, Human Dignity Block, United Vault Technicians Block. I'm aware of the rumors circulating about me. I want everyone to know that they are vicious lies being spread by the other candidates in a desperate smear campaign. I have never in my life done anything so depraved, let alone for such things. But even if I had, that still wouldn't mean you should vote for me. Consider the fact that I am grossly underqualified for the position, and that both of my opponents are far more deserving. I know nothing about governance. You would be hard-pressed to find a worse candidate than me. I can promise you, my administration would be a disaster. Candidate, Nathan Stone. Endorsements, Justice Block. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't even be a candidate, and I wouldn't be if it weren't for all the dirty backroom politics going on around here. It's sickening. You should all be ashamed. And it kind of makes me think about how the voting is done in Vault 33, just to kind of tie it to the show.
You ran a great campaign.
I know. Must have put 10 posters up.
They make it clear that there's these blocks that endorse candidates in the vault to be offered up as overseer. Every one of these candidates are pleading their case to not be elected overseer, which is something we can also see in some of the propaganda as well. Just do not vote so-and-so. Vote for Kate. Vote for Nate, which, Kate is written over Nate. We see that these people who are being nominated for overseer do not want this job. And I remember thinking the first time I had gone through here, I was like, well, why don't they want to be the boss? What's wrong with being the boss? It must be a shitty job, right? It must suck. Yeah, understatement of the century. But I thought it was like, oh, maybe they vote to eat the overseer. Maybe that's why it's bad. Maybe the overseer is expected to clean up all the doo-doo. I don't know what my 17-year-old brain was thinking at the time of this, but it wasn't what it was actually leading to. So yeah, we see in that first log the candidates, and they're all pleading their cases. The second log,
Notice of postponement. Fellow citizens, due to the tragic events of the past few days, the coalition of Vault-11 voting blocks has unanimously decided that to postpone the election for Overseer pending further investigation into the murders. Your security team wishes you to know that they are working tirelessly, day and night, to find the perpetrator, and are already following up on the number of promising leads. God willing, if the killer is apprehended swiftly, we may have found a promising new candidate for Overseer. Sincerely, Terry Hart, President, Human Dignity Block.
Overseer is a bad position to be in. With that being said, who in their right mind would go around killing people in a vault, knowing that they would eventually be caught and be made to be Overseer, a position that is hated and disdained? The last log that we get on this classroom computer is Overseer Command 745.
Effective immediately, the traditional selection process for Overseer is hereby ended. Ooh, okay. Interesting. In lieu of a yearly election, a citizen will be chosen 1 month prior to the start of his or her term with our mainframe's random number generator, ensuring complete impartiality and fairness. Catherine Stone, Overseer. She changed the system. She said, this voting shit ain't it, dude. So, to keep it fair, I'm gonna have a drawing number. How's that sound?
That being said, does that mean anyone? Because there is a classroom here, and that makes me think that there are kids. And I'm pretty sure there are kids. You don't see their skeletons, but it is kind of screwed up to think. Do kids also get nominated to be Overseer? That's not a question that's answered. I certainly hope not, but you never know. There's always that one little shit, you know? Someone who keeps farting, a kid, just a farty kid. I don't know, I might put his ass up for Overseer, get him out of the picture. I don't know.
Hold up. No way. I don't know if anyone cares about this. This whole, like, beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar has been going back and back, right? Legit. 11:01 p.m. It is 11:18. He really just dropped another one. Like, he dropped 3. What just happened? And then Drake had one, too. No way that's real. What the fuck? Did he spawn cap? Did he spawn camp? I don't know. Who cares about that news? Not related to Vault stuff, but thought y'all should know. Ooh, let me get some scotch, though. Okay, well, just like that, I'm an alcoholic. Congratulations. It only took 1 scotch bottle to make me an alcoholic. God damn it.
Now, the living quarters. The stairs lead to a lab and a computer room. One of the computers is booby-trapped with explosives. Pretty sure I fell for that shit.
Paul Glover. Yeah. Okay. Nice, dude.
A large common room connects the hallway leading to the male and female dorms, as well as an exit labeled admin. This doorway leads to the security office and to the levels containing the overseer's office and the utility room. So now in the security office, this is the next computer where we get a new log. This is between the vault attorney and Catherine Stone. We find out that... Is my camera overheating? Shut the fuck up.
Let's see if we can't get into the... No. Overseer's office is downstairs. Alright. We're gonna hack into this. Ooh. We're not gonna hack into nothing. We're just gonna lockpick. Oh, hell yeah. Flashbang. Ooh. I'm suffering from scotch withdrawal, so specifically scotch. Bro, I don't just have scotch on tap, bro. What are you talking about? Alright. Same stuff? Ooh, deposition. Okay. That's something new. Excerpt from the deposition of defendant Catherine Stone by Vault Attorney Gerald Miles. Okay, let's pick up where we left off, Kate. Catherine Sorry, right, Catherine. I keep forgetting. My husband calls me Kate. You were telling us of a discussion you allegedly had with Roy Gottlieb of the Justice Block. Not allegedly. Had. We've been through this. It's still just your word against his, Miss Stone. But please, the discussion. He said my husband's name had come up in their meetings, the candidate endorsement meetings. Yes, they were going to endorse him. You want to say why? But I know my husband had a regular poker game with some of them, and he'd been on a winning streak lately. And according to you, what did Mr. Gottlieb offer? He said he could sway his block, prevent the endorsement, but only if you... What, Catherine? Only if you perform sexual favors. Yes. Was this just for Mr. Gottlieb? No. All the block leadership, their friends. And you agreed. What else could I do? They had a majority. How long did this go on before the endorsements came out? I don't know. A month? Maybe? And when they came out and your husband was endorsed despite your supposed agreement, was that when you decided to kill members of the block? Yes. I thought their majority was pretty slim. If I had thinned things out a little, especially in leadership, someone else might get elected. Assuming you weren't caught. No, Mr. Miles, I expected to be caught. That was my best chance. Now, they'll elect me. A confessed murderer. You think voters would be willing to risk putting you in charge? They have to pick somebody and live with their reasons. Yes, but wait and see.
Catherine, at this point, has been used and gets this idea to kill members of the Justice Block. She has a twofold plan by doing this. Not only to get rid of some people, but to end up being nominated overseer. With the Justice Block having the majority vote, they are able to manipulate and control the rest of the population of Vault 11. And there's no telling how many times they've done something similar to what they did to Kate, or even worse to other people within that vault. Knowing that they have this control over someone's life, and it could be for something as simple as borrowing a pen and never bringing it back. They could put you up to be elected as overseer, and then have whatever it is that overseers have happened to them happen to you. I think it's fair to say that people have lived in fear of the Justice Block and wronging them. You know, and from what I can tell, it sounds like, if Nathan was on gambling terms with members of the Justice Block, he might very well have been part of the Justice Block. I don't know if it says, but this is where I say it is juxtaposed to our own society. When we vote for someone politically, we align with someone who shares an ideal that we have, and we expect them to uphold those ideals. We lean on them to get things done for our society. We lean on them to have the power to do things. However, in this vault, it is not the person in charge who has power, but rather the voters who have power. And maybe I could be looking into this a little too much. I think it's a nice reflection to what we know in society as it is, right? She kills these guys on the Justice Block, knowing it would get her the position of overseer. These Justice Block assholes totally forgot what the overseer is capable of. The overseer is capable of making the rules in the vault. So this is where she introduces Overseer Order 66.
Do it.
Making it to where whoever the overseer is randomly selected, making all these blocks useless, making it fair play for everyone. And as we go forward and explore the living quarters some more, you go into the male dorms, and I can only assume that the Justice Block tend to live with each other, because men and women are separated in here, which I'm sure that's awkward for Catherine and Nathan Stone. Good God, that's actually real awkward, given what Catherine did. Huh? What the fuck? We overhear two men talking inside of this dorm room, and Justice Block flyers all over this room, and they talk about their plans to take power back.
Anyway. Security recording. Ah, shit.
She can't do this. It's done. We're done. Nothing's
Steve
done.
Bloom?
She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still have the majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting. What then? You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike? Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks? Yes. Come on. I mean it. What? Start a revolution? Laws don't outlast their governments. Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look, we arm up. We go to the lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water. Just until she turns authority over to us. The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power. We have the majority. We don't need them. This isn't a vote, Roy. They'll fight back. They've never had the nerve. Hell of a way to test it.
So those bodies that were getting chopped up in the medical lab, were they eating each other? I actually don't know.
You know what? Thinking about it, we never hear anything about Nathan after that. What the hell was old boy doing? He was just a footnote asshole, I guess. Catherine, you deserve better. Maybe he should have become overseer. I'm starting to think after a while, Catherine would have voted for his ass too. Anyway, let's talk about this plan. And it starts a civil war. They're holding up the cafeteria where all the food is. They're holding up the power, and they're holding up the water. And as we make our way to the atrium, we find a holotape prepared speech of Gus Olson, ombudsman for the annual overseer election.
Good afternoon. Each year, it is the appointed task of the ombudsman not only to officiate the election, but to chronicle it in hopes that after the last overseer has finished his term and walked to his death in the chamber beneath his office. There you go. Yeah, sentenced to die. God damn. And the vault has become still, that one day, after some excavator from humanity, or perhaps some yet unknown race of super beings, might find our records and incorporate them into historical canon. But lately, it's occurred to me that that's not really why. I think the real reason we do it is because we want to believe that somewhere in the archives there's an answer to all of this. Or perhaps there will be one when the historical records are completed and the whole story is told. We want it to make sense. To understand why the Vault's mainframe will kill us if we do not offer one of our own as a yearly sacrifice. To fully comprehend why we continue to have these elections, despite the unfettered corruption that has plagued it for what must be decades by now. There was a simpler time when elections meant shaking hands and kissing babies. But now, with the rise of the voting blocs and this infestation of bribery, drug trafficking, smuggling, and God knows what else, we want to know why. Well, I've been through the archives, and I can tell you, you won't find the answer there. You'll find an account of the first overseer, who entered the vault as the only citizen aware of the sacrifices that would have to take place. But he didn't have the answers either. If he did, surely he would have foreseen the citizens' anger when he broke the news. Surely he would have guessed that they would want to choose a sacrifice democratically, in the way that we citizens are accustomed to washing our hands of terrible deeds, and that his name would be at the top of the polls, and that the simultaneous vacancy of overseer and martyr would forever fuse the two positions here in Vault 11. But he didn't. He had the answers no more than any of us. And the records state that after the citizens discovered that the Sacrificial Chamber's password was his wife Betty's first name, and his door was unsealed so he could be offered as the first sacrifice, he walked down into that room crying like a child. I can only wonder if there are no answers to be found, and we are just going along with this because we don't see another choice. Nevertheless, I still hold on to hope that we can find one. I urge you all to take the journey I took, to remember that it wasn't so long ago that we were ruled by our civility and our dignity, and that those were times when we didn't have to quite be so ashamed. Thank you. I wonder what the time frame on this shit is. Like, how long after the bombs dropped did this shit get out of hand? Let's see.
After Gus Olson's speech, we finally find out what happens to the Overseer. The Overseer is expected to die on behalf of the rest of the Vault. After the first Overseer, the Overseer became two roles, leader and martyr. It was now expected and accustomed that the Overseer is the mandatory sacrifice that the Vault needs in order for everyone else within the Vault to stay alive. Now, from what we can tell, and considering all the posters that are still up, it looks like Catherine was in fact the last Overseer. We see the leftover remains of, assuming the Justice Block holding up the cafeteria, the power water, all that. Now going back to the clinic, we see all those chopped up bodies. And this is where I was thinking, is it people getting hurt trying to get food and water, or is it people eating each other because they cannot get food and water? I'm gonna go with the latter. I think it drove people to a point of desperation. And I feel like the social collapse that happened, given the already moral dilemma that the people in the Vault are faced with of choosing someone to die every year. Any kind of moral high ground anyone was sitting on it's gone now. It became a state of survival. Now that the Justice Block were manipulating these people to the point of state of survival. The Overseer's terminal with the aforementioned password can open a chamber under the desk. This opens into a long tunnel. At this point, a pre-programmed voice speaks to the courier, approaching a door illuminated by a bright light.
Congratulations, Martyr. Your fantastic journey is only just beginning. Please proceed to the light. The light is calming and puts your mind at ease. Go to the light.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that shit. Oh, it is bright. It ain't common. Damn, dude.
At the end of the tunnel is a room with a single chair in the center. Along with a projector, the voice instructs the player character to sit in the chair to start the presentation. Delaying this will cause the recording to repeat. You have no choice but to sit in the chair until the courier complies. The door locks as soon as the presentation starts. And I just want to say this presentation is such core Vault-Tec aesthetic.
Hold on to your ass.
Greetings, Martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive. Currently, You may be feeling sad or angry. Perhaps you never got to have grandkids, or to enjoy the pleasures of a fresh cigar. But march with your chin held high, soldier, and remember that each of us has an important role to play. For some people, their role might be to heal the sick. For others, it might mean they will drive a race car or fly a rocket ship. And some of us are meant to forfeit our lives for the good of the people. Sure, it might not be as fun as driving a race car, but it's every bit as important. Let's take a moment to reflect on the moments that made your life worth living. Think about that time you kissed your steady girl for the first time under the bleachers at the big game. Or when you snuck out after curfew to catch that new flick that your parents wouldn't let you see because it was too scary. Boy, were they right. And who could forget when you met the love of your life? What a looker. These are just examples. Do you feel that feeling stirring in your chest as you think of these things? Good. What you are feeling is peace. You've led a great life. Living it has been its own reward. But it is only the beginning. Close your eyes now and imagine what joys await you in the next life. The afterlife. Can you see them? Good.
Ho, ho, brother, ho, whoa, 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 now.
You want to see just how corpo and heartless these bastards are? This presentation covers it. It's not a presentation focusing on the individual in the chair. It is a generic blanket presentation. Everyone who sits in this chair gets the same presentation. It's not catered to anyone in specific. It doesn't know the person in the chair. It just does a job. It is a severance package presentation. At the conclusion of the presentation, wall panels on both sides of the room slide back, and 4 robots and 8 turrets will simultaneously attack the player character remaining in the chair until the film concludes as dangerous as robots and turrets open fire immediately.
Good God.
Attention. Target business is now a combat.
Good God, bro. Good God, man.
Once the automatons are dealt with, the player character can access a small room with the Vault mainframe computer inside. This computer unlocks the door and reveals the true purpose of the Vault.
All right, I know you can hear me, so listen up. There's 5 of us left. 5 out of I don't know how many. So, it's over. We've talked and it's over. We're not gonna send anybody to die anymore. So shut off our water, our gases, or do whatever it is you're programmed to do. But we're done listening to you.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault-11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all. And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news. Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault-11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience. Instead, the mechanism to open the main vault door has now been enabled, and you can come and go at your leisure. But not so fast. Be sure to check with your overseer to find out if it's safe to leave. Here at Vault-Tec, your safety is our #1 priority.
It was for nothing. It was a social experiment. It was just a prank, bro. For 16 years, going through, you can count each and every one of the skeletons of how many overseers there were before they stopped doing this annual sacrifice. 16 years. The first one, out of desperation and fear. Because the overseer knew going in that this vault would need a sacrifice, and he withheld that information, and it got him killed. I want to say maybe the next couple years after that were out of a fear response. Someone had to have been chosen, and I think it came down to the overseer position. And then at a certain point, people formed these blocks, and they used that position to control population the way that certain blocks see fit. Now, there's no telling what these other blocks did. They could have been just as bad as the Justice Block, but it sounds like the Justice Block was the worst. And it took 16 years for that society to collapse in on itself, to the point where people were manipulating, controlling, assaulting each other, and all that was for nothing. To be told, congratulations on not deciding to kill someone else and valuing human life above all else. For 16 years, this was a way of life, and it became a truth. There was no what if to be concerned with. It was just fact. This is the vault. If we do not do this, we will all die. When it stopped being about human preservation of the entirety of the vault and became more about taking advantage of people, I think there was a point of no return, and I think it was with the first overseer. How could they have known what would have happened if they didn't do it? Because the truths that they had were, if you do, you will all live, and if you don't, you will all die. So when the last 5 survivors finally came together and said, all this fighting, we've lost most of our people, it is not worth it. There were kids in this vault, which is, that classroom. There were kids in this damn vault, dude. And they came together to tell the computer, we're not doing it. And that leads us back to the 4 skeletons that we see in the entrance. The one who wanted to make sure that the story got out so it didn't happen again. And the 4 others who just could not live with themselves after the truth was finally revealed.
It's open. We could just leave. We don't deserve to leave. A shining example. That's what it called us. But we were. We did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot. Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem. Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first. Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out. Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, wait!
Why?
And so ends the story of Vault 11. I wanted to do this story first for Dark Lore because it is the one that stuck with me the most. It's the one that made me really appreciate environmental storytelling and looking for the story and looking for a deeper meaning, looking for, analyzing your surroundings a bit more. There are so many locations in these games that have these secret stories, these minor stories that are easy to overlook while exploring these locations. Because this vault is associated with a Brotherhood of Steel quest. I think it's still in the dark, right? Is it? Yeah, it's still in the dark. You're here to get one thing for the Brotherhood. There are just rats, mantises, and apparently bark scorpions, which I don't remember fighting any. Maybe in the entrance? I don't know. It's a cakewalk. You can go through this easily, no issues, get your way down to the bottom, get the thing that you need, get on out of there. Without exploring this, takes you about maybe 10 minutes to get the job done, right? But by exploring it and reading the environment, reading the logs that are in the computers, you are rewarded with a more enriched experience. And this is my way of maybe hopefully I can encourage someone who did not care to read those logs to take the time to explore those environments. Bethesda, in my opinion, Bethesda doesn't do a good job of general storytelling. The main story usually sucks. It is the tiny pieces that are used to build up the setting itself that are really, really good. Those are the elements that keep me going in a lot of the Bethesda RPGs. So next time you are exploring the Wasteland, take a second to look into the vaults. Appreciate your surroundings. If you see some skeletons on the ground, keep an eye out for some notes, or maybe even something that tells the story. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want me to cover next. I have a few other ideas. We still have the Gary Vault. We have Vault 22. And if you like this video, like the video. Just do it. I appreciate you. Take a look at the merch. We've got new merch in 7WA. Get you some. Check out all the links in the description for other things. And until the next Dark Lore, I will see you later. Fuck, I can't see shit.